Hey everybody, welcome back to the Green Room with Terri Green. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have the studio guest this afternoon that will be stopping by. But before I get into my special guest, I want to take a few minutes because the purpose of the podcast was to give you a little bit of backdrop on how crazy my life has been. And I wanted to make sure I integrated that into the podcast so people don't go have to call me and say they really don't understand why I do what I do. So the first thing I want to show you, I brought some show and tell. This record right here, if you can just see that, it's a record called Elaine Terry. That was my first artist name. I kept changing them, made everybody mad. Elaine Terry, You Got Me Turning Around. And this record was produced and written by myself and Amir Saraf. If that name doesn't ring a bell, think about hits like Be My Lover and also Sweet Dreams of Rhythm and Passion. That was LaBouche. So 1 month after I recorded and released this, I was 6 months pregnant with my son. They met Melanie. And Melanie went on to sell nearly 5 million records with LaBouche, and they were looking for me the entire time, which is a part of the story, because they were so successful in America, they wanted me to come back. I was actually teaching and had left the music business and bought the LaBouche album on accident and saw that my original producer, Amir, was a part of and created and was the producer of LaBouche. So for me, this is an iconic record that will always be a part of my career. It's how I got started. The very, very first vinyl ever created from me. You Got Me Turning Around. So that's today's juicy little tidbit. And I want to show you guys a few of those things as we go along. But let's get to our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, millions of records sold, San Francisco based, my very, very best friend. And today I'm honored to have Dynelle Rhodes of the Weather Girls here in studio. Y'all give me a little clap, 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 clap.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank
girl.
you.
What's
Thank
up?
you, girlfriend.
Did you even know any of that?
No, I didn't. Had no idea.
How are you, D?
I'm doing fine.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, women of a certain age, we have to keep it going, keep it hot and sexy. And I just think too often we don't do that.
Yeah.
But them Weather Girls do. We just got the little Weather Girls in the studio today. Dynelle, actually, before we get too deep, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Dynelle Rhodes of the Weather Girls, and oh God, I get nervous, you know.
Well, I love you being nervous. I mean, you just did a show last year in Holland,
Yeah.
Netherlands. How many people were at this Toppy Top or whatever it was called?
Oh, it was called Toppers,
How many people were in that?
and it was 90. The first day was 96,000
People.
and then the second day was 98,000.
So tell me why you embarrassed and scared to be on my podcast.
I don't know why. I just
'cause we
get nervous.
close.
I get nervous.
I know I get nervous and cut people off, which is what I'm not doing in this episode. So keep going with your introduction. Tell them, your little bit about your genealogy, biography.
Well, I was born Dynelle Rhodes, and I'm the daughter of the original Weather Girl, Izora Rhodes Armstead. And I was born in San Francisco. I've gotten to the business by way of my mother. And when she went on Martha wanted a solo career.
Martha Wash,
sorry.
right?
Yeah, and she wanted a solo career, so I joined in with my mother in 1990.
1990. So you've been a Weather Girl for?
From 1990 until now.
So how many years is that? Are we too old to calculate? Well, it's at least 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years as a Weather Girl. So when I'm on the road trying to sneak and sing my version of Raining Men, people will come up to me and be like, well, isn't the Weather Girls Martha Wash? But let's put that on my podcast today. Mm-hmm. Martha Wash left the Weather Girls in?
1991.
She is the iconic
Yes.
Duo with your mom, but
Course, yeah.
She left the band and you became the band with your mother.
Yes.
Which was not the easiest thing on the planet.
God knows.
So there are 6 of you.
No, there is 11 of us.
There are 11
11
kids?
11 children That's 7 originals and 4 stepchildren.
I didn't even know all this information. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Izora had time for all them babies?
All of us, honey. All of us. We were her babies.
Back to your story. I want to let you give you a chance to clarify. So your mother, go from when you began the band and how that went.
The beginning, it was 1990. My mother and Martha was going through a little change, and Martha wanted a solo career. So she left the band, and my mother wasn't ready to stop singing.
Right.
And then it was the idea of my stepfather and her that who could she get to replace Martha? You know,
right.
She was looking all over. She had Robin S. She had someone else, and then it clicked. My father says, "Wow, we're looking all over the place, and we got somebody right here in our backyard." And she said, "Who?" She said, "Your daughter." So then I just had my son in 91 and working for this Oakland school district.
Oh, wow.
And got a call and she said, "Baby, I want you to come and sing with Mom."
Wow.
And I was like, you playing. I don't even want to hear that. She said, "No, I'm not kidding. I want you to come and sing with me." And that day I didn't look back. I dropped everything and went to New York and we did a demo and for a record company here in Germany, East West Records, and I never looked back.
So let's go over to East West. I met you in Hamburg the first time. First I met you loosely somewhere else, but the real first time I met you, I was in Boogie Park in Hamburg, one of the biggest studios in Germany, and they had all this soul food set up. I was like, yo, let me get my... They were like, "Get your fingers back." I'm like, why? There's soul food. I don't get soul food in Germany. They had ribs, they had chicken, they had fried chicken, macaroni and cheese. Greens. So we were so hungry. We had no money back then. We were struggling. I said, "Who coming for this?" And I was like, "Maybe I could get some." No. And they said, "The girls are coming." Girls don't mean nothing to me. Okay, whatever. So then about an hour later, around whatever the scheduled time, 2 very not so tall people came in with a lot of fur coats and lashes and nails and all that. I said, "Well, who is this?" "Oh, these are Weather Girls." And I said, "Well, Herbert, why didn't you tell me? They're amazing." Dee had not even take off her jacket, and she was already like picking into the food and taking stuff. And I was like, I love them. They so down to earth. I was in awe because I was a fan of your mother since I'm a kid. So seeing you walk in, I didn't 100% know that you weren't I hadn't figured all that out, but I saw y'all, and then your mom was so down to earth. I think that night we went to the Radisson and actually had dinner together. I'll never forget. And Izora was just a beautiful spirit. So that you carry that on with her. Music business ain't easy.
No.
And what's the biggest misunderstanding from your point of view as the daughter being on the inside? Nobody has your bird's eye view in the planet. People talk about the Weather Girls, but only you could write that book about what it was like after, how it lasted another 30 years. Well, what was difficult?
Well, the difficulty is that, of course, I wasn't Martha.
Okay. Ooh. Well, I never thought about that, girl.
I wasn't Martha. But then after I opened my mouth, I did my debut.
Ooh, okay.
Was in the what do you call the place in New York, Sweetwater's.
Sweetwater's, okay.
Yeah, and my debut was at Sweetwater's, and when I opened my mouth, honey, everybody's like, "Child, you don't need Martha. That child can sing." Mm-hmm. And then it just went on from there. It was hard, and then of course at the time, I mean, back in like the 90s, that's when the music was changing
from disco,
and stuff, and they were taking all these teeny bopper groups and stuff was taking over. P Daddy was coming in and everything, and
it was just changing.
Right, it was changing. So then my mother and my stepfather, we came over to Germany, right, and got a record contract with East West Records. And we never looked back.
You shouldn't have. You kept it going.
Yeah.
There was a really, and I hope we can say it on camera because I want this to be a juicy podcast, but I also want artists to understand what we as independent artists go through. Because, I don't need to be, there's so much we don't talk about.
Right.
But what broke me down about you and your mom is when she went to the Library of Congress and she registered the name and you inherited it upon her death. You told me that mom was actually pretty much living in her car at one point.
Yeah.
Talk about this moment for you as a kid seeing this. You were with her.
No, well, I came back home to California, and my mother was in New York, and she was going through a hard time. She didn't want to tell anybody.
That's okay.
She always,
as she always did.
She was very secretive. She kept a lot of things to herself.
So how'd you find this stuff out?
Because I came to New York and being stubborn.
She told you not to come.
Yeah. So I wanted to come to my mama. I'm like any little girl that wants to be with her mama. I want to come. So I came and I saw her living in the Westbury Hotel.
I know the West.
Yeah, Westbury Hotel, and that was just a rough time.
Yeah, and she was still optimistic. Yeah. Like, it's crazy how even when she was going through stuff with other people and management, you said to me before that she still stayed optimistic.
Yes, she was an optimistic person. She would ever have a oh, baby, don't worry, the Lord gonna take care of you.
And it did.
And he did.
Yeah. Now, when you were 15 or younger. I can't remember the age. Talk about Studio 54, seeing Andy Warhol. Like, who you saw at Studio 54.
Wow.
And why were you there illegally? That's what I need to know.
I was young, but I was always bigger than...
You had some big breasts.
Right. Some big breasts.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have none. I don't know what happened to me.
And I was big for my size, and I was kind of sort of learning the business. My mom and my stepfather was teaching me the ropes and going around to every club. We went to Zanzibar, we went to Bonds, we went to Red Parrot. Studio 54.
But so
Garage,
Studio 54, though.
All of them clubs.
But who was in there?
It was so many.
Did you see Michael Jackson?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't see Michael Jackson.
I remember you saw some folks, but your mom knew Donna Summer. Everybody.
I remember seeing, I forgot her name, Lolita Holloway.
Okay, yeah.
I remember seeing Lolita Holloway, and a lot of them back then. I was young because I didn't know him by name, but I knew him by face. And Studio 54 was just amazing to me.
Wow.
I watch her go across this huge stage.
Your mother.
My mother. And this motorized stage that went across from one end
I wish I
to
could
the
see
other.
That.
And, of course, they say what goes on in Studio 54 stays in Studio 54.
Was it like that?
Oh, yes, it was like that.
That must be like these
private
party events. Okay.
You saw everything.
Okay.
So, but, it wasn't no face to me because my mom, she never hid anything from us as children. She said, this is the world. She said,
wow.
You either be in it or are part of it or you be nothing at all. So she gave us that choice.
You talked about the industry changing and just going in right there. What do you and I both listen to artists of today? Right. We listen to Afro pop. We like a lot of diverse music. Right. What is good music for you?
Good music for me is a song with words, good melodies. Anybody loves a good beat, but the song has to have substance.
Right.
It has to mean something. It has to tell a story.
So why do you think artists today have a shorter shelf life?
Because it ain't nothing but a beat. It's for a second. It's like meaning. No meaning to... the lyrics are, to me, crazy.
Is that because we're old?
No, No, not older. I just feel we just, we into.
Because you don't want to be that person. Like,
Right.
you don't want to be, oh, I'm 50 something, so everything is bad.
No.
But I do believe, and I hear from my son that, whether we had a lot of issues with R. Kelly, whatever, but we can't deny dude can compose a record like,
boy,
yo,
that was my boy. Oh my God.
Can I get a toot?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, a writer is a writer. I just saw a video of R. Kelly, while he's incarcerated. I think he's controlling the whole prison with music because he told a man, "Shut up, N-word. I'm trying to sing this song for the press."
Don't you hear me
but
singing?
But his voice sounds the same, and I just think, and that's another topic. I won't go there, but I think that if you have the talent, it just lasts forever.
I mean, if you got it, you got it.
El DeBarge.
I mean, not only speaking of El DeBarge and R. Kelly, look at you, baby. You
putting it back on me?
You are a writer. I'm sorry. It's only my.
She's trying to throw this interview back on me, y'all. This is crazy.
So, I love you. I love your writing. Love it.
I don't know if in the industry. That's why I did the podcast. Yeah. I wasn't going to do it because I didn't want to do something just with my technical level of it. But I wanted to, before I pass away, before I leave this planet, I wanted to be able to say, here's a biography of what we really did. People don't know that I wrote country music 20 years ago. That we wrote, I was a lyricist, more powerful lyricist than I was singing. For me, I like to be just in the zone. You sat with me a lot of time. And it's just not about me, but I wanted, you tell a story because, we're very sensitive people. I can be super annoying with my emotions. Some people told me that. But, I'm good. One thing we do, we accept criticism, critique as we age in this business. Why do you think you've survived so long?
Why do I think I survived so long? It's just being from the old school.
But you rehearse and all that.
I love a good rehearsal.
You're so good.
I mean, if you don't have rehearsal, you just ain't right.
You get angry up in the rehearsal.
I get mad.
Now, how many drummers have you fired?
Ooh.
John Lampkin, you might be fired on the next gig.
I mean, I think I've fired about 1, 2,
Oh,
3. It was 4 drummers.
Girl, you fired, but now you have on your latest record Jay Williams playing on Super Love. Jay Williams plays for Dave Koz, he plays for Marcus Miller. He plays for everybody, Chaka Khan.
Right.
What was it like to hear his drum, session when you got it back for Super Love? In the pocket.
He was in the cut. I would call it. He just he gave it to you, and you felt it.
Why do we love drummers so much?
Because there's something you got to give the drummer some. Got to give that drummer something.
I don't think you do drummer too much, but you can give the drummer something.
You got to give the drummer something. But I mean, hey, if you got it, you got it.
Yes.
Say with anything.
Yeah. I was with a friend. He's connected to Swedish House Mafia, but he had something to say about R&B. He said when he talks to A&Rs or head of labels, they ask him, well, how do you know it's a hit? He said, because the drums are in the pocket and I catch the hook. So if the drums are in the pocket and you can't feel it, you feel it a little bit, but you don't feel what we feel or I feel, then you don't really get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what's next, D?
Well, what's next is my new single.
How it go?
Hey, Super Love. I like the way you hit me with this Super Love. Oh, God, I love the song.
I like
Written by Terri, me, and Herman.
Herman H. Beard.
Yeah, Herman H. Beard. And, I mean, wow. I was really amazed. I mean, when I first heard it, when I put everything together, it was like,
yeah, and I think it's a different record. Yeah. It's not, it's very Minneapolis-ish. Wasn't meant to be. It just kind of came out like that. But I think that you really slayed the record. And you're saying, some way I got to, you giving it all that.
I feel you're giving me a little bit much, but you know, I'm just nervous. I'm a nervous
That means you're still fresh.
reporter. I'm a nervous, you know, everything. So I'm a baby when it comes to stuff like this.
So the legacy of the Weather Girls, all of her children, all of you, there's 6 children, you're the only girl.
Yes.
All from the immediate, the children she gave
birth to. Yeah.
All of you still for decades will always earn from your mother's legacy. People don't realize that having hit records, having a legacy, you do pass it on to your children. I know how lucky you feel to be able to perform. Where are you performing next, and where can people see you?
Oh wow, I'm performing. I have a lot of private gigs, and
What kind of? I thought those were illegal.
No, those are gigs. You know, sort of corporate.
Okay. I thought it was one of them other parties.
No,
down in L.A., Hollywood.
None of those. I don't do LA parties. I'm sorry. I've been over here in Europe, and I've been just fine.
Booked out.
Always gigging almost like every other weekend or every weekend, and I just love it.
Dee, what is your most annoying? What's the most annoying trait you find today in an artist? What do they do that you think too many do but should do better? What could they do better?
I'm sorry, this is only me.
I love it when you do that.
It's only me. That's my opinion. Running.
Oh, okay. Dig deeper. Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you Coco, we good.
Well, okay.
Coco and her son.
No, I love it.
Well, I love it.
Every single
but she don't do that.
No.
I get so weak in the knees. They not singing.
Right.
Right. She doing it in a good, it's about tastefully doing it.
Right.
Right.
I mean.
But if somebody just starts running like I love Coco Jones, but she do it tastefully.
Yes.
A lot of the words are straight, and then she does it when she needs. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri, great project, like Brian Michael Cox.
Well, yeah, but I love a good bucket singer.
Gut bucket.
Gut bucket.
Explain what gut bucket means. Is that a slavery term?
Not per se slavery, but just laying back and singing a song, and when you feel the way they singing that song, and you know that girl singing that song, you feel it.
So here's my question. We're gonna take a detour.
Okay.
What makes a man sexy over 50?
Ooh. For me, it's the dress.
How they dress. Okay.
Yeah. And
now, do zoot suits turn you on?
Not really.
Okay. Big hats and.
No, I mean a nice little hat, little brim.
Yeah.
But brother in the court.
What do you? You're single.
Yeah.
You had some relationships.
Yeah.
You go through stuff.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing you look for in a man today versus when you were 20?
Personality.
Okay.
Right.
Humor. Oh, girl, they're about to bust you out right now. The personality.
I mean, he has to enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
He has to want to have.
So a man with a good personality who can't really throw down on the other way.
Oh well, no, I didn't say that. Now you know it's all in the package.
How you know? You went by personality.
Well, yeah.
So you won't take a bad personality who is good in bed?
No. I'm just saying. It's all good, brother. No problem.
She said, I gotta let it go.
Gotta let it go.
Yeah.
But,
now, what if someone's super sweet, but they're not really hitting the mark?
No, I'm sorry. You got to go. That's so. I can be super sweet myself. So. No, you got to go. It all has to round off in the package.
Are you romantic?
Yes, I'm very romantic.
Yeah.
I love romantic.
You like candles and blah?
Yes.
Okay, we got Oh, okay.
Something like that.
I hate that California thing you do, right? This little.
I mean, nice walks in the vineyards, and I love it.
Girl, we just 2 generations from working the vineyard. You talk about walks in.
No,
celebrate.
I love it. Have you ever went into a vineyard and walked?
I did. I sung in
around
vineyards. Yeah.
And look, it's
boring.
so beautiful. I want to me.
All right, but you know, you're way more California dreaming to me. But so who's the most interesting celebrity you've ever met along your tour life where you were excited to meet them? Like for me, it's Donna Summer. I literally broke into tears when she came out. Like, Terri, you don't have to cry. Yes, I do. Ah! You know,
Wow.
I was bursting into tears. Me and Donna Summer were just like hugging, and she's like, "I already know about you, Terri. We're good. When you gonna write these songs?"
Right.
And unfortunately, she passed away. She was my big highlight.
Well, my highlight was when I met Luther Vandross.
Oh,
That was quite
wow, Luther.
this guy. Of course, unfortunately, he passed also.
What's your favorite Luther song?
Creep.
I know you all shady character like some creep. Our podcast promoter claims Mr. Basement 3034 Basement, whatever. I always get it wrong, but I'm old and I just put it on age. He says, I grew up in Ghana on R&B. I'm like, but they do. They really have a huge R&B scene. I just think always about the States and forget how wide soul music is as a genre. So, P.Y., shout out. I believe you now. But girl, so Luther Vandross.
Yes.
And who else?
And I want to say Gladys.
Oh, don't be trying to do my girl.
No,
I've been
but
trying to
that's
meet
it.
Gladys for a minute. Actually, my friend Phil from NYCC from another band, he's friends with HB Bonham, who know he's really best friends with her. I have tried my best to get to see her. I just love Gladys. And she has this thing in her voice like me where we both go, that, whatever that is. So, you know, I'm going to get my little
Yeah, but I mean,
landlord.
she may not remember me, but honey, I shall remember.
You met Gladys?
I didn't meet her, but I was in the same room with her.
Did you meet?
And no, the Pips. I just stood there and I looked.
Wow.
I just stood and looked.
Who was your mother's favorite artist?
Wow.
Or was it a gospel artist? Did she really?
I can't remember my mom's favorite. My mom used to love so many.
Okay.
You know, she admired
Little Richard?
so many singers. But you know, it's funny. I never asked her who was her favorite singer.
Wow.
I never asked her. But yeah, she had a lot.
Okay. So with your mother, you have a son. What is the future of the Weather Girls with your son involved?
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. If something comes out of it, I have a granddaughter.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, and
Mini
God,
Weather
she's
Girl.
Mini Weather Girl. She's a mess, but she also sings.
I know.
And
I've seen her in action.
And when she stands and demands attention, believe me.
So you and I, we have a unique position of having played and performed. It's gonna get a little political here.
Okay.
We played and performed in places like Beirut. We played in Russia. We played in Ukraine. We played all over the world.
Right.
When we can tell people that the people are all good, when you are with people are influenced by different things, of course, religion, politics, et cetera, but the basic part of the people is really good. You always felt welcome. Right. I remember standing on the stage in Beirut, running across the bar, because you have to stand on the bar to sing, me and Tara McDonald, and it was like heaven. Right. And you know, to see the world where it is in this moment with war and just all crazy stuff, it just makes no sense. At the end of the day, war doesn't solve any problems. So I don't know why we keep going back to that as a reason to solve issues, because people just get hurt. True. on all sides. So to uplift ourselves a little bit, let's get back to you, Miss Dee Dee. Mm-hmm. So I have a question. What's the most challenging thing as a vocalist, as a singer, that you've had to overcome in the industry?
I want to say learning to make a song my own.
Elaborate.
To deliver a song. You have to make it sound real with a lot of emotions, and you know.
Was it tough for you to jump into the Weather Girls and take the place of Martha Wash? Because basically that's what you did. I mean, Martha's some big shoes.
Yes.
And I know how much you actually really mentioned to me several times. You looked up to her as a vocalist and how she just slays.
Yes, honey. She is the queen of the high vocalist. The queen. I mean, she has a beautiful, beautiful voice. And I just love it. Sometimes I wish I could sing like that, but
Girl, don't we all? I had the opportunity to write for her in New York with Bob Sinclair. We wrote a song, and eventually she did sing it. I think I played it to. She's just great. And has withstood the test of time. Dee, I want to say to you first, thank you, not only for being my friend, a true friend in the industry, where celebrity and all the other nonsense doesn't matter. You've been my ride or die through so much. My road dog. And we do so many fun things together that outside of music. But if there was one thing you wanted to say to people about your mother and her legacy, what would that be as we close out?
Wow. Oh, I have too many things to say. But I could say, even though I'm not her, I try every day to deliver a song like my mom.
You know you sound like her now.
You really? I mean, it doesn't seem like
more now than like 20 years ago.
Wow.
You were like Shirley Temple when she was alive. I would go see the Weather Girls and they kicked me out the group. True story. I went down to some gig. Mama, we were doing a TV show. Mom had a gig, Izora. And she said, just get Terri to jump in. I was like, cool, a check, I'm good. Weather Girls. I got to that daggone gig and people said, you ain't mama. I was like, I'm out. Bye. Never coming back. It took me like 20 years before I did another gig with you because the Weather Girls, I think I'm good. I think I'm loud.
No,
I think I'm powerful. In my zone.
Yeah.
But I ain't in your zone. I know when I look like time to leave. You know that man to come get the thing and take you off at the Apollo. I'm that person. The Sandman came in. No, I mean, you guys, you just, I'm not a gospel singer. People think I am. Just because I'm black, I'm kind of bucks to me, whatever. But I'm not. I know people who can really, you were someone, y'all got the chops. So
I got it from her.
We all do different things.
Yeah.
And we all have a place in the industry. Dee, I want to thank you for being here at the podcast, at the Green Room, getting green with us today. I hope you and all the endeavors you have coming up. Brand new record, Super Love.
Yes,
Super Love, remixed also by Frank Blythe in the UK. I'm hoping everybody, please check out her new record,
Please.
Super Love.
Please.
And to all the queens, we'll be coming with Pride real soon. Hey. Yeah, we didn't get to talk a lot about all the communities that support us, but you and I, we support everyone. Mm-hmm. Your cause is our cause. Yes. And if we can tell the story through music, we do. We have a special project coming up right now with the Delusions song. So catch us next time. Dee, I hope you come back. I will. It's been a pleasure. Can you give us a little tidbit of Raining Men?
It's raining men. Hallelujah.
It's raining men.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Green Room. We're going to be acting up again next month. I'm going to keep it coming with more hot artists. Dee, I love you. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep making that paper. Keep singing Raining Men all night long, however long you got to sing it. And we love you. Much applause. Check them out on our website, on Spotify, The Weather Girls, Dynelle Rhodes. And this is Terri Green from the Green Room saying bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.